am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but that's like beyond pussy or impossible pussy. You know what I mean? It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is. It's not blood, that's beet juice.
LGBTQ plus groups and some Netflix employees called for the special to be removed from the platform.
Netflix employees walking out of the company's Hollywood office after weeks of internal backlash.
Hello everyone, my name is Nasima.
My name is Favor.
And you're welcome to another episode of our channel. Today we're not going to talk too much, okay? We're just going to watch the video together. And then we will both judge it. We'll all judge it together.
Yeah, we'll react to it together.
Yeah, if you're for us, against us, let us know in the comment section. So let's watch it.
These are times famous actors stood up to woke culture in Hollywood.
You're getting as bad as Biden. When somebody does not do the job, you gotta let them go.
In Hollywood, there are very real, very brutal consequences for speaking out.
As soon as my cancellation happened, I had reporters showing up. I had drones looking at my place because it looked out onto the ocean, and there was drones popping up. There was like people in vans, and there was people following me. I was just very exposed, which was very dangerous of Disney to have made the comment they did.
What did they say?
They said, we do not support Gina. We're not going to work with her anymore based off of her. Something about cultural and basically calling me a racist.
62% of Americans say they have political views they're afraid to share.
Yeah, everybody hates it and no one stands up to it because it's always the safe thing to swallow what you really think and just join the mob.
In this video, you'll see the brave Hollywood A-listers who put their careers on the line to stand up for what they believe, no matter the consequences. Let's kick things off with Chris Pratt, star of Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World. Pratt didn't make any controversial statements. Instead, he faced backlash for what he didn't say or do. In 2020, Pratt became the target of online criticism. Many have accused him of being politically conservative and supporting Donald Trump, even though Pratt has never publicly stated his political views. This all began when Chris Pratt was seen wearing a "Don't Tread on Me" t-shirt featuring a coiled rattlesnake. This is a reference to the Gadsden flag, a Revolutionary War era symbol that rose to prominence as US colonists were looking to declare independence from Great Britain. Yahoo News tried to frame this as a white supremacist symbol in their coverage, but political commentator Ben Shapiro was quick to clap back at Yahoo News, stating this is pure idiocy.
Yeah.
Not every symbol of the early republic is a white supremacist symbol, unless you're a moron. These accusations continued after an Instagram post where Chris promoted his new film with a, quote, insensitive joke. These accusations continued after an Instagram post where Chris promoted his new film with a, quote, insensitive joke about the importance of voting, where he wrote in the caption, with all that's going on in the world, it is more important than ever that you vote. Pratt wrote, just ask any celebrity. They will tell you every day, several times a day, to vote. But me? I will tell you exactly who to vote for. The upcoming 2020 People's Choice Awards is the most consequential vote in the history of mankind times a million infinity. Vote for hashtag Onward for Family Movie of the Year. The controversy reached a peak when Pratt wasn't a part of a virtual fundraiser for Joe Biden that included many of his Marvel co-stars. This led to him being labeled the worst Chris in Hollywood on social media. Pratt's response to all of this? Silence. Always silence. He chooses not to address the accusations directly, but again and again, he stands up to the immense pressure to conform to Hollywood norms and continue being himself. While Chris Pratt, being Chris Pratt, didn't fight back when he was taking heat for not participating in the Joe Biden fundraiser, his Marvel co-stars came to his defense. Robert Downey Jr. wrote on Instagram, "What a world. The sinless are casting stones at my brother Chris Pratt, a real Christian who lives by principle, who never demonstrated anything but positivity and gratitude." Chris Pratt continues to star in major blockbusters, but his story shows how in Hollywood, even staying silent on political issues can lead to backlash. The next story is about Gina Carano.
Carano remains undefeated.
A former MMA fighter who became an actress in the hit Star Wars show The Mandalorian. Carano was riding high on her newfound fame, but things took a turn in February 2021. She shared a post on social media that compared being a Republican today to being Jewish during the Holocaust.
Nazi Germany didn't start just with people just waking up being Nazis and like demonizing, like throwing Jews into the concentration camps. It didn't start there. It started before that, it started with propaganda. You had to kind of start urging people to make it okay to demonize your neighbor and to hate people for whatever differences it was. At that time, it was Jewish people.
This post caused an uproar. The woke left called it offensive, claiming it downplayed the suffering of Holocaust victims. Lucasfilm, the company behind Star Wars, quickly fired Carano. This is despite the star of The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, doing the exact same thing with a woke leftist take, publicly making a comparison between the Holocaust and the treatment of migrants at the border.
Don't care how you invoke the Holocaust if you happen to be of a different political persuasion.
No.
And I pointed out on Twitter right away, as soon as this broke, that Pedro Pascal, who was your co-star in The Mandalorian, the lead in that show, that Pedro Pascal had put out a Holocaust meme in 2018 in which he not only got the facts wrong, he actually posted a picture from not the American border in 2018 and called it America 2018. He then compared the treatment of migrant children in 2018 to victims of the Holocaust in 1941, which is absolutely absurd on every level.
In a statement, Lucasfilm said Carano's social media posts were abhorrent and unacceptable, but were completely fine with Pedro's posts. Just like that, Carano went from being a rising star to being out of a job. But Carano didn't back down. In interviews after her firing, she exposed Disney's cruel behavior. She said, "A couple weeks ago, Lucasfilm asked an artist that they employ to erase my character and put another character in my place." While many in Hollywood turned their backs on her, Carano found support from others who felt Hollywood had become far too woke. She quickly landed a new movie deal with the Daily Wire, a conservative media company. The Daily Wire is helping make one of my dreams, to develop and produce my own film, come true. I cried out and my prayer was answered. I am sending out a direct message of hope to everyone living in fear of cancellation by the totalitarian mob. I have only just begun using my voice, which is now freer than ever before, and I hope it inspires others to do the same. They can't cancel us if we don't let them. Carano's story shows how quickly things can change in Hollywood when an actor goes against popular opinion. But she's not the only one who's faced backlash. The next star, Bill Maher, is a comedian talk show host who is historically known for his liberal views. Maher has been a staple in Hollywood.
It's so unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair because these celebrities, they're facing backlashes because they decided and they chose who they want to vote for. And they are being tagged racist or something because everybody has a right to vote. Everybody has a right to vote for whoever they want to. Why should celebrities be any different?
I know, right? It's just feeling like they shouldn't have free speech. They should just go towards one person because other people are going towards that person. Then what is the whole concept of free speech all about if that's the case?
You're violating their human rights, getting cancelled from Hollywood because they don't want to support the woke movement.
Yeah, or they expect you to do something that you don't want to do. Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways,
I feel so bad for them.
But for decades, often criticizing conservatives. But recently, he's found himself at odds with the woke left. In 2021, Maher began using his HBO show Real Time to speak out against what he sees as extreme political correctness in liberal circles.
Mr. Emmanuel Cafferty, he was a San Diego gas and electric worker, but he got fired because someone reported him making a white supremacist hand gesture outside the window of his truck. But he's not a white supremacist, he's Latino, and he wasn't making a hand gesture, he was probably just flicking a booger.
I know, right?
Is this really who we want to become? A society of phony, clenched asshole avatars, walking on eggshells, always looking over your shoulder about getting ratted out for something that actually has nothing to do with your character or morals?
Maher's critiques didn't stop there. He took on topics like cancel culture, identity politics, and what he saw as the left's obsession with race. His stance surprised many and drew criticism from his usual allies. Some accused him of pandering to the right or being out of touch. But Maher has stood his ground. In an interview with Vanity Fair, he said, "Let's get this straight. It's not me who's changed, it's the left. A large contingent has gone mental, and I'm willing to call them out." Unlike the previous examples, Maher's career hasn't suffered from his outspokenness. His show continues to air on HBO, and he remains a popular figure in the media. Maher's story shows that even within Hollywood's liberal circles, there's pushback against extreme woke culture. It also demonstrates that established figures might have more leeway to speak their minds. The next star is Matthew McConaughey, Oscar-winning actor and self-proclaimed centrist. In recent years, McConaughey has used his platform to challenge what he sees as extreme political views on both sides, including in Hollywood. In 2020, McConaughey made waves when he criticized what he called the illiberal left during an appearance on Russell Brand's podcast.
There is a lot on that illiberal left that absolutely condescend, patronize, and are arrogant toward that other 50%.
This statement sparked widespread debate, with some praising McConaughey for his honesty and others accusing him of misunderstanding progressive politics. McConaughey's outspokenness led to speculation that he might run for governor of Texas. While he ultimately decided against it, his political comments continued to make headlines. In 2022, McConaughey gave a passionate speech at the White House.
We need to restore our family values. We need to restore our American values.
McConaughey's career and popularity seem unaffected by his political statements. He continues to star in major films and remains a beloved figure in Hollywood. McConaughey's story shows how a well-established star can use their platform to challenge political narratives, even within Hollywood, without facing significant backlash. Now for an unexpected ally in the fight against Hollywood's woke culture, Dave Chappelle, a comedian known for his edgy and often controversial humor. Chappelle has become an unlikely figure in the debate over free speech and political correctness in entertainment. In 2021, Chappelle found himself at the center of a major controversy with the release of his Netflix special, The Closer. The backlash was immediate and intense.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but that's like beyond pussy or impossible pussy. You know what I mean? It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is. It's not blood, that's beet juice.
LGBTQ plus groups and some Netflix employees called for the special to be removed from the platform.
Netflix employees walking out of the company's Hollywood office after weeks of internal backlash.
If your satire is punching down, you are being a bully.
But Chappelle didn't back down. Instead, he doubled down on his right to make jokes about any topic. You said that you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore. Despite the controversy, Netflix stood by Chappelle, refusing to remove the special. This decision was met with both praise and criticism. Despite the controversy, Chappelle's career has not suffered. He continues to perform sold-out shows and work with major platforms like Netflix. While Chappelle used his comedy to change Hollywood norms, the next star worked behind the scenes to influence the industry in a more direct way. Clint Eastwood, actor, director, and producer with a career spanning over 6 decades. Eastwood has long been known for his libertarian-leaning political views, which often put him at odds with Hollywood's predominantly liberal culture. Unlike many in Hollywood, Eastwood has been open about his conservative-leaning views. He famously spoke at the 2012 Republican National Convention, addressing an empty chair meant to represent President Obama.
You're absolutely crazy. You're getting as bad as Biden.
This unconventional speech drew both ridicule and praise, but it didn't deter Eastwood from expressing his views through his work. Eastwood has used his position as a director and producer to tell stories that often challenge Hollywood's prevailing narratives. His 2014 film American Sniper was particularly controversial. The film, which told the story of Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, was criticized for glorifying war and promoting anti-Muslim sentiment. Others praised it for its portrayal of veteran struggles. Despite the controversy, or perhaps because of it, American Sniper was a massive box office success and was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. Eastwood's influence in Hollywood demonstrates how a powerful figure can shape narratives from behind the scenes. His ability to get films that align with his worldview shows another way of challenging Hollywood's status quo. At 93, Eastwood continues to direct films that often touch on controversial themes, proving that his voice in Hollywood remains as strong as ever. The next star is Ricky Gervais, British comedian and creator of The Office. Gervais has made a name for himself by pushing boundaries and refusing to bow to political correctness, especially when hosting the Golden Globe Awards.
Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show, a superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God.
Gervais has hosted the Golden Globe Awards 5 times, each time causing controversy with his jokes made at the expense of Hollywood's elite. 2020 was a particularly spicy year for Gervais, where he used his opening monologue to criticize Hollywood's hypocrisy and virtue signaling.
You probably know me as the creator of The Office. No, you don't, do you?
You think Steve Carell did it all? Oh,
He's brilliant, isn't he, Steve Carell? He's amazing as the bumbling office manager. Where does he get his ideas from? Let's pay him hundreds of millions of dollars and put him in every movie. If you can't be bothered to go to the cinema to see Steve in action, then just watch him every Thursday here on NBC.
Gervais touched on sensitive topics and called out Hollywood's relationship with powerful corporations. His comments about political speeches by actors accepting their award at the Golden Globes resonated with both the live audience and viewers at home. Gervais's approach to comedy has often put him at odds with what he sees as an overly sensitive culture. He's been a vocal critic of cancel culture and defends his right to make jokes about any topic. Gervais's career doesn't seem to have suffered from his outspokenness. He continues to create successful shows and stand-up specials. With his willingness to say the quiet part out loud year after year, Gervais's story shows how humor can be a powerful tool in challenging Hollywood's norms. The final story brings us to a current and ongoing controversy. Meet Gina Carano. Again, this journey started with Carano's firing from The Mandalorian, but her story didn't end there. In fact, it's still unfolding as we speak. In February 2024, Carano filed a lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm, alleging wrongful termination and discrimination.
Gina Carano is suing Disney and Lucasfilm over her being fired from The Mandalorian in 2021. Carano filed a complaint on Tuesday in California federal court for discrimination and wrongful termination and alleges she was fired for voicing right-wing opinions on social media.
This lawsuit, backed by Elon Musk and X Corp, has reignited the debate about free speech and political beliefs in Hollywood. Carano's lawsuit alleges that she was subjected to a bullying campaign and that male co-stars who made similar social media posts were not punished. The outcome of this lawsuit could have far-reaching implications for how Hollywood deals with actors' social media presence and political views. If Gina Carano wins this trial, the Hollywood elite will no longer be able to get away with firing actors based on their political beliefs. In this interview with Tucker Carlson, Carano explains her motivations for the lawsuit and her hopes for its impact on the entertainment industry.
When you were fired from Disney for reasons that no person should ever be fired, resisting a vax mandate or not putting your totally insane pronouns in it, did you consider suing them?
Yes, yeah. I actually confronted my family lawyer and we talked about it, and I was like, if this isn't defamation or if this isn't discrimination, then I don't know what is. If this isn't wrongful doing of an employee, then I don't know what is.
And here with Patrick Bet-David, she explains how she had to move out of LA due to the ongoing harassment from paparazzi.
I had to move out of Hermosa Beach. I had to move out of LA. I had paparazzi knowing where I lived. I had stalkers. I didn't live in a gated community. I was very much in danger where I was at.
As of now, the lawsuit is still in its early stages. Disney and Lucasfilm have yet to respond publicly to the allegations. Regardless of the outcome, Carano's case has already sparked intense debate about cancel culture, political diversity in Hollywood, and the limits of free speech for public figures. While the controversy has undoubtedly affected her career in mainstream Hollywood, Carano has found support in conservative media circles and continues to work on independent projects. The debate over political expression in Hollywood is far from over. As this lawsuit progresses, it may set new precedents for how the entertainment industry handles similar situations in the future.
Like I said before, nobody should get bullied because of their choice or their opinions or where they choose to stand. Because it feels so unfair that, and they're saying the truth. I don't need to side with your woke movement. And I think the reason why they are growing massively in number is because of the amount of popular, rich people that are supporting them on the ground. And it's making their, and one thing I notice about this woke liberal is they are so sensitive. They can't take what they dish out. They know how to make jokes about, anybody can be a woman. I can decide to be whatever. I can compete with you in your kind of sports. I can change. Nobody's going to tell us anything. We have a right to what we want to do. But the moment we dish it back at them, it becomes a problem. It becomes and look at the way celebrities are getting cancelled because they don't want to sit with that. I feel like it's so unfair, and I wish the companies that they're working for, the Disney, for example, I really, really hope that they can give them a response and take back the termination of employment and, rectify everything, because it's so unfair. And I really, really hope that they get justice. And I really, really hope that people, their eyes get open to the actual truth that this transgender LGBTQ woke movement thing, it's going nowhere. It's just going to cause destruction. It's just going to damage a lot of things, and it's going to just waste our time.
I feel like some of, their outbursts or they were just so unnecessary and they were extreme. Like, why would you go to that level, to that point where you get someone terminated for... I really like the fact that she sued Disney, and I'm talking about Gina now. The fact that she sued Disney and Lucasfilm, because it just didn't make sense. So what they're trying to say in essence is, because most people support the woke movement, and because you're working with us, you automatically have to support the woke movement, which doesn't make sense. I mean, that totally, eliminates the fact that there is rights to speech.
Yeah.
Everybody has the right to say whatever they want to say. They have the right to support whoever it is that they want to support, whether they are working in a particular industry or not. It does not cancel out the fact that they have, those rights. And I really like the fact that these guys that we watched just now, right, regardless of whatever criticisms came, and they still stood for what they actually believed in. Because there are some people that, once any small criticism comes up, they just try to, rub people's ego and just follow the crowd and do what other people are doing. But these ones, they really, really stood their ground. And I think I really like.
Yeah, they're so brave for that, because all the celebrities will have, committed suicide or given into, these trolls and hate comment and all of that. One thing again that I dislike is trolls. These haters, you because of your thoughts and your imaginations, you feel like everybody should follow what you say. And the moment a person, is against their movement or what they feel, the way they troll and attack these people, it's so unfair.
Doesn't make sense.
That is so inhuman. It means that what you're fighting for, it's narcissistic, because you're not being a normal, and you're not being a normal person that is trying to advocate for the woke movements and all of that. No, you're just being narcissist that wants everybody to follow you.
I feel like this whole woke movement is becoming very extreme,
It's
because they are
extreme.
pushing it. That I don't think that was the whole I don't think that was the whole idea behind the woke movement. But the people that are now in the woke movement are making it extreme. How would you send trolls, make someone not feel safe in their own house, wherever she goes to? It doesn't just make sense at all.
So this drives down to the conclusion that no matter who you're voting for, no matter what your opinion is, no matter what your argument is, everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
You don't need to let your opinion be the reason why somebody's job, somebody's life entirely becomes a mess. You don't need to be the reason why somebody's job gets terminated. You don't need to be the reason why, or your group of people, they don't need to be the reason why someone feels unsafe or someone has to pack out of that state completely just to suit. No, that is inhuman, that is narcissistic, and that is very, very bad and unjust.
Very unjust.
Anyways,
so that's what we think about this video, guys. We'd like to know what you think in the comment section, so please drop a comment below. And also, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel for more videos, and also share. Thank you so much for watching.
All right. Bye.